Well, good morning, and thank you for joining us today. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast is your podcast for mental and emotional conversations. It's good to have conversations, and as you know, today is Motivational Monday. And on Motivational Monday, here's our goal to motivate ourselves. How many of you are motivating yourselves? Motivating yourself to do something. Do something better than you are doing already. That's what we're going to talk about today is motivation. Because it's Monday and because we need a reset. Today, let's think about how we pause. How many of you are actually pausing, taking a breath? Because life is so fast paced. Everything we do, everything. And just saying that, when you mentally think about all the things you've got to do, our line is open 661 795 0475. You may call in or join us live. We are live. And we're so happy to be with you. Don't forget that if you want to hear more from us or see more from us, you can go ahead and scan the QR codes. I would love for you to do that. As we think about mental resetting from everything we have to do, how are you guys doing that? Are you thinking about feeling like you need to take a break? I don't know if you guys have listened to the latest podcast for our Friday group. And please keep in mind that our Finally Friday group is on Zoom. And we are going to be relocating. So I don't have a specific address for you as of yet. But we do have the healing center. I want to keep it more private for those who are dedicated to our show. Because it's a lot going on out there. And I want to keep everyone in a safe space. We have lots and lots to talk about. And we'll tell you about some of them, but right now we're going to get into the resetting. When you need to reset, it's about giving a chance to start over, given a chance to begin again, to renew yourself, being new. And Monday, I found, was a perfect time to do it. Perfect time to be able to reset. Because when we reset, we are giving ourselves a breather. When we think about our busy schedules, how many of you are really thinking about everything that you got to get done that you didn't do? And even though there are so many hours in the day, you still didn't get a chance to do it. Let's talk about that. Right now, I want you to think about what is something that you didn't get a chance to do, maybe over the weekend, and your goal was to get it done. It could be anything. And if you guys are listening and you're live with us, okay, you can write it in the comments. And while we're on the comments, you can always say hi to let me know that you're there. But the question is, what is something that you didn't do that you wanted a chance to do? Perhaps this weekend, perhaps this morning. Let's do the breathing again. Let's start with that. Because many of you might be waking up, many of you may be driving, you might be in the middle of something. Take a deep breath. And when I say take a deep breath, I don't want you to hurt yourself. It's about relaxing. It's about being able to just breathe. It doesn't take much. Sometimes in life, we just have to get away from the noise. Let the noise go. Empty the noise. Is that something that you guys have had to do? Sometimes you just gotta chill for a moment. Isn't that what they say? Chill. I say that too. Sometimes when we have to degress, when we have to take off our stress, what is the noise that you have had to release or get rid of for a time or two, for a day? All of us basically have our cell phones. And you know, the last time I checked, when I look around, everybody has their cell phone, including myself. But I often wonder, what was life like with no cell phones? Come a little closer. I wonder what life would be like if we could go back and not have cell phones. Because there was a time that I actually lived where there were no cell phones. You didn't have the cell phone tied to you. You didn't know who was calling until the voice calling machine where you could leave a message. What was life like? It was a lot less noisier because you didn't have that. They invented what was called the pager. For many of you who are still young, and the pager did not allow you to be able to call back. You just knew someone was calling. You know, we've got streaming TV, we've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So many things that make noise for us, that introduces, us to noise, and even thinking about all the noise. Maybe you're living in an area where there are taxis, buses, trains, airplanes. The other day, while being in the airport a couple of weeks ago, I thought about the busyness of everything. What if life just came to a sudden halt? What if life just suddenly stopped? No, I'm not talking about death. But I'm talking about things that you may not be able to control. Let's go back to the technology of today. Do we feel like sometimes it's out of control because you gotta see who's calling? You gotta know who left your message. I have done that and I do that. But I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there are times when I must let go of that. And in the business that I'm in, there are going to be people who call. There are going to be clients who inquire. There are going to be friends and family, and the list goes on and on and on and on. What do you do to control it? Sometimes we aren't able to turn off our cell phones because why? For me, it's like, I'm going to miss something. I'm going to miss something. Do we sometimes feel like that? We're going to miss it. And so we can't get away from it and we live by it. Walk around, you see people, their face is always in the phone. Are we motivated to be able to control it more than we have? And it's so true that life has presented itself to look as if we could never live without the noise. People sometimes, because of their conditions, are made to stop the noise. I'm no doctor. I am a certified life coach and counselor. What I do know, what I have experienced, is that there could be so much noise around that you can't control it. And you know what the body does? It says, no, we gotta stop this. And so we can have what is a breakdown of emotions, breakdown of what we're going through mentally, breakdown of daily routines that just keep going. That sometimes our brain just keeps going. And it can spiral out of control if we allow that. What have I done because it has happened to me? I have moved forward. Because there's going to be noise. And I want you to think about the noises that are in your life. Mothers that are new moms. You're going to hear the noise of the newborn. It's going to be a different sort of a noise. Or when you are having Amazon or delivery services, DoorDash, all these delivery services, you're going to hear noise of the doorbell, noise of the dog barking, kids playing, music playing. Is all noise good noise? Some of it we just simply cannot get away from. But yes, there are times when I just simply have to say, I need noise to cease. You still have control over that. So, what is it that you do to cease your noise, to stop the noise? Do you turn yourself into one big person that can handle all the noise? And that's how you live, because that's how people do, because they think that they don't have enough. It is true that our human body has ears and a brain to take in reflection of noises. But have you ever thought to give your body what is quiet? Reset. Less of. Is there a quiet place in your environment that you can go to? Because I do realize that many of you may not have that, as many of you do have a quiet place. If you have a home and you have more than one room, you're going to always have another room, whether it be your kitchen. But I'll tell you what, you can develop a no noise spot. Even sitting in your room or someplace in your house that is no noise. And you can do that. Sometimes there are families that it's a lot of them at one time and there's always noise. Is there somewhere in your backyard, your front yard, your bathrooms, somewhere that you can mentally take a note and say, this is going to be no noise? That means you're not going to take your phone unless you want to journal something. And that means that you're not going to take your phone to talk on it. You're going to be noiseless. A lot of people have to be so busy that they deprive themselves of noise. Life is no noise. Sometimes we have noises of conversation. And I always say, keep the conversation coming. Keep the conversations going. What do I mean by that? Conversations of connecting you to emotions. Sometimes just saying how you feel. Just being able to tell someone, my brain feels noisy. And I'll give you a scenario. Maybe there has been a situation where you keep going over and over in your mind of a conversation that may not have went so well. And your brain begins to signal and say over and over again, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Gets kind of noisy in our brain center. Our brain starts taking on this information and replaying it. Do we or are we able to pause that noise to move forward? Because, sometimes even though we have control over our own brain, we could have brain stealers. What does that mean? You know those ones who steal your peace. Peace. Not the other peace. But they come in and you allow them to rob you, to steal your peace by the noise that continues to be in your life. Maybe unresolved. Maybe just pure drama. Maybe just of the last conversation. Ask yourself, how does it benefit me? Because wherever you go, guarantee, if you stop, and we're going to experience this, I want you to stop whatever you're doing. If you're driving, please don't do this, because I want you to be safe, but rather do it as a mental exercise. But for those of you who are in safe situations where you're not driving, you might be sitting at your desk, you might be at home drinking your coffee, tea, or what have you. Stop what you're doing, and I want you to just listen. Do you hear the noise? Whoever's on, thank you for joining. We are talking about Motivational Monday, mental resetting. Thank you for joining us. And so, what do we hear? We hear the noise. We hear all kind of noises. But what noise are you allowing? Reset yourself if it's negative noise. We're not talking about when people are doing the lawns and you got noise of the blower for the grass. You know how I talk about the brain? The brain is marvelous. Oh boy, the study of the brain and how it transfers information, and it tells us when to move, when to breathe. Our brain collects all that information for us to do what we do. It's so amazing. If you blinked in just the last few minutes, your brain just submitted information to tell you to blink. We do it instinctively. It's amazing. But there is something about your brain that I want you to be aware of. With all the transmission, with all the noise that goes on, while you need to mentally reset yourself, your brain does something. Helps you to think. Yes, I said the word think. Right now, you may be thinking about something. You may be thinking about something that has challenged you. You might be having a good thought about something that happened this weekend, or you might be thinking about something that you have to do. Whatever the case may be, you have the ability to think and reflect. And something I want you to think about is your brain is so powerful, and it can shift in its thinking. It can make decisions for you. Challenging, not so good, wise decisions. And it reflects. It thinks about taking in information. It tells you what you need and what you're going to do next. How many of you have experienced that? all of you should be able to, whether you're online or not, in this discussion with me today, should be able to identify how your brain tells you things. Sometimes the brain even forgets. Let's experience something. How many of you have lost your keys, your glasses, your wallet? Your brain has so much information in it that we forget. One time I forgot my glasses and they were on top of my head. Another time, and every person that has known me knows that I do this next thing. I'm always losing my wallet. I'm always losing my wallet. So my brain says, what did I do with my wallet? Where is my wallet? And there's been times where I've lost money. And boy, somebody was very happy to get that money. And I always think about whoever got that money. I hope they really needed it. But our brain forgets things. And one of the things the brain can forget to do is to reset itself and begin again. So here's the lesson in this, is that if you're having a bad day, tomorrow, do you have to continue in that bad day? Or can your brain reset itself and say, yes, I remember yesterday, and I didn't forget about yesterday because that was a really bad day. And you begin to tell what happened. The next day gives you opportunity to get up, to rise up, and have a better day. We all get that chance. Some of us wake up. Today I have a little neck pain because it's the way I sleep. But tomorrow, I don't anticipate this pain. We get rested. It goes away. And even if it shows a sign of better improvement, we rise up and we go forward. But you know that thing that I said about forgetting? We forget that everything we experience is connected to our emotion, is connected to our mental state. And so we have to learn to push a button to say, let's pause. Let's pause. And you know, some of us say, but I can't. My brain just keeps going and going, and I just can't shut it off. Let's experience something. We have streaming now. And you know the thing I like about streaming? The thing I love about streaming is that if it's a program and I'm going to miss something really quick, here's what I do. I take the remote and I can pause it. Why do I do that? Because I don't want to miss what the storyline is or what's going to happen. Sometimes we have to take a break. You ever been streaming line or let's stick with streaming, and you say, I gotta pause this. I don't want to miss this. I gotta go to the bathroom, or I gotta get a drink of water or a snack or answer the phone. Whatever it is that you're doing at the moment. What's the point? Is that you know how to pause. And we're asking today that you pause. Whatever you were doing yesterday, if yesterday wasn't a good day, pause and think about and reflect on today's day. Giving yourself an opportunity to do what you need and to learn what is your next step. Our brain is very marvelous to be able to think, to be able to transmit information. And as we transmit information, we're able to say, what do I need to do next? Remember that thing that I said about losing stuff? Like we lose our wallet, we lose our keys. Keys are like the number one thing. How many of you have lost keys? And you've heard someone say retrace your steps. The brain's ability to be able to receive that information, and you do it almost instinctively, even though you don't know where those keys are. And then you find the keys and you say, what? I found the keys. Because you're in a panic. Especially for those who go to work, go to school, have to be somewhere. You're panicking. You're going under the couches. You're looking everywhere. I did that one time. You know where my keys were? In the refrigerator. Now, what in the world were my keys doing in the refrigerator? To this day, I'll never know. But obviously, I was there. But what about those keys that remind us to breathe? What about the keys that remind us we still have to live? The keys that tell us we have the power, we can empower ourselves to continue to go. Reflect on these. What to do next. In our lifetime, we can refocus. I don't know about you, but a lot of people that I've talked to are really into sports and they focus. What are they focusing on? The game. Are there any sports players out there? Especially when you're doing sports and somebody's trying to talk to you. It reminds me of the game of darts. And I'll say darts because when I was younger, we had a dart board. And I had siblings. And you know me, I'm a annoying little sister, a brat, because my family will say that. And you're talking, you want to do something, but your sibling or whoever's playing the game of darts, they want you to be quiet because what are they trying to do? Anybody know? You can put it in the comment. What are they trying to do? They're trying to hit the bullseye. And in life, that's what we want to do. Hit the bullseye. Stay focused. We want to be intentional about our purpose each day. And lifing, I'm finding that word a great word, lifing. Because we all do it. Lifing, we get up. Some of us do the same thing. And we're intentional. What does that mean? When you're when you have intention, you mean to do it. You're not unintentional about waking up. You mean to wake up. It's Monday morning. You might have had a really great time all the way up till 12 o'clock. When the clock struck 12, no matter what you were doing, even if you were sleeping, you knew that Monday morning you would have to start your week all over again. Do you want to hit the bullseye of lifing? The amazing thing is none of us know what we're going to be challenged with. But I'll bet your bottom dollar. I'll bet you And many of us are going to be challenged with something. So that game of darts, when you aim your darts just so, sometimes you miss the mark. You say, oh, I didn't do it. But do we give up? We play darts again and again. Until what? Until we won. Whatever becomes your life, when you're lifing this week, do it with intention. You want to be nice to someone, don't look for a motive. If you want to give a gift, if you want to say hello, if you want to go to a graduation, because we have a lot of graduations. Happy graduation, class of 2026. We're excited for all of your achievement. And our very own Trish, happy graduation. We are so proud of you. So when life is lifing you, you can pause. The streaming that we do, we've all done it. I'm so glad for streaming, guys, because you can watch your program over and over again, and you can pause it to say, I'll be right back. You came to it. Your brain has transmitted information to say this is what's happening. And now I'm going to go back to it. And I want to use this intentionally for people that want to do things with purpose. Monday doesn't have to be manic. You know the song. You get up, rush out the door, make your coffee first. You're running. Monday morning can be all about reflection, intention, less stress. Because people will add stress to your life. Come a little closer. I'm going to restate it. People are going to add stress in your life. There will be stress in your life. Challenging enough. You have to refocus. We have to get up and shoot for the bullseye. Remember the dart game. Another opportunity that I like that we have when we speak, feel, and think. We must understand what our worth is. No matter what anybody says, does. Do you know that you're enough? Do you know not only are you powerful in your brain, but you are powerful enough to be able to impact someone's life? We've all had the opportunity of understanding what a superhero is. We all have had that. I love talking about the superhero theory because, we've all loved superheroes. But did you know that we have intentional superheroes within us? That power to be successful, that power to win. And we like these superheroes. Why? Because we say they are tight. They win. We love them. But when we look within ourselves, do we see that same strength? Do we find reasons to like what is present within us? Do we ask ourselves, or do we remind ourselves and reset and say, do you remember that time? Do you remember that time that was a really bad time for me? And here I stand today. Do you remember that time that it was really funny? All those times that you're saying, do you remember this? You have to tell your brain that. Because, see, your brain transmitted information into your powerful brain, the housing of your brain. And you know what it said? I got through. When you stand and you look at yourself, you have to reset yourself. You have to tell your mind to transmit information that you're going to be okay. When's the last time you've addressed yourself? And addressing yourself as if you are your own best friend and you say, it's going to be okay. Because you've done that to someone in your life. You've said those words. And if not those exact words, you have wished them well. And you were intentional about it because you felt an emotion. I want you right now, whatever emotion that you're feeling right now is, check that emotion. You want to reset yourself. And one of the emotions could be, since it's Monday, I hate Mondays. How many of you have said that? I hate Mondays. Yes, have you ever asked yourself why so many people feel like that? Because you're not the only one who may hate Monday. And you will say, I hate Monday all the way to the car. And you're intentional because why? You got to go to work. Sunday night. How many of you have looked at the 7 p.m. hour and you could be having a really good time, and then you're thinking about what you got to do Monday? I hate Mondays. We've all done it. But let me give you a reset. How about, yes, I really don't like Mondays, but today, here's what I'm going to do. Maybe one of them is going to be to reset yourself, to readjust it, to maybe pause for a minute and think about, what is it about Monday that I really hate? Is it the guy that sits next to me, or the girl that comes in late, or is it your boss? Don't tell me, because people listen to the show. But I want you to think about, refocus. What do you choose today? Make yourself a mental list. Do you choose growth? Do you choose, I'm going to have peace? Do you choose to be clear about what you do, when you do, and how you're going to do it? Or do you choose yourself? And when I say choosing yourself, we do not promote selfish. I don't like it in any way. But choosing yourself means that you're intentional. You are intentional about what you're going to do. Someone's behavior can impact you. Are you going to say, that person is a negative, but me, I'm going to stay positive? I was driving the other day, guys, and when I was driving, I was doing the speed limit, obeying the law, and the person behind me was so in a rush, they honked the horn at me. I was too slow for them. But does it change my perception of driving? Do I say, I hate driving? No, because I got to go where I got to go. What did I choose? I chose peace. You don't have to do what someone else does negatively. You can choose. Whatever you do in your brain's power, I want you to reflect. People have said things, done things to all of us. But if we succumb to every action and everything that was said to us, where would we be? So what can you do about you? You can move forward. How many of you have moved forward? You don't need any negative because you are negative, but then you got up and one day the light comes on upstairs in your marvelous brain and it says, we're going to pause this. We're going to do something different. Because you can say, I hate Mondays. Because we've all said it. But let's give ourselves an exercise to think about changes we can do. We don't like Monday morning? Well, today I'm going to go get me a donut. Or today I'm going to go to Starbucks, but I'm going to get up a little earlier to go get me a tea or a coffee. Doing something different. A friend of mine always used to say to me, change the environment. Did she really mean that if it's raining, to stop the rain and put the sun out because that's what I want? No. Really, changing the environment is all about how I'm going to perceive a Monday, the next day, the next hour. What am I going to do when I change the environment? Doesn't mean to move out of your house, change how you live. No, it means to let the sun shine in. We all are better people, right? Some of us, when the sunshine is out, because we prefer the sun over the rain. But we could be good people despite the weather. And it is a true fact that weather does impact us. But let the sun shine in. How you're going to start. How many of us have been in a really great mood and something happens and it just killed our mood? We hate Monday. And then we remember, oh, today's not Monday. A little humor there. But we can change our hating Mondays to reset and say, I'm going to do something different this Monday. Instead of looking Sunday night to let Monday ruin us because we've all said it, we're having a great time, people getting ready for the weekend, and all of a sudden you stop dead in your tracks and you say, it's 7 o'clock, I gotta go to work. I hate going to work. What's the moral of the story? To learn to reset and change the way we think and feel, doing something different, taking action. And only you can do that. Only you can do that. Because no matter what happens, you can decide to be motivated or not. And still say, I don't care what Miss Nisi says. I don't care what she says. I still hate Mondays. I'm a forever hater of Mondays. You can learn to love Mondays by doing something different. People have even went so far as to say, I hate my life. What are you doing in your life that you can't control or you can control? How's your thinking? But you can choose it. So be motivated. We got to take a break. I mean a pause. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. I promise you. Don't go anywhere. The Healing Center is brought to you by Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. You can find out more about how you can group session individually and join in our workshops. We're back. Today our discussion has been on mental resetting. And by the way, this whole month has been about mental health. How is your mental health? I want to say happy graduation to our class of 2026. If you have a graduate, I don't care if it's 5 to 100, please let us know. We're going to do a very special Vibe Talk, and it's going to be dedicated to everyone who has graduated. Please look on our YouTube page. Wherever you see us, please put your graduate student. You can abbreviate whatever's safer for you because we want to make sure that they're included. Happy graduation. Also, the Healing Center. The Healing Center has a new home. And we're going to be very private about how we disclose that home, but it is going to be for your liking and for you. We do workshops of various kinds. They're ongoing. We do individual counseling as well as group counseling. Our number is 1-888-721-9260. And you can text verbally or direct connect with us 661-795-0475. I want to say thank you. Thank you. From the far east to the west, north, and south. Thank you for your honoring Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Listen to our latest podcast, and we hope that today you will think about your Monday mental reset. Thanks, everybody. Until we meet again.